Welcome to the RYSA 2020 Daily Schedule Module Training for all staff. In this module, objectives are written in the Staff Will Be Able To, or SWBAT format. Staff will be able to internalize the RYSA 2020 daily schedule for both students and staff. Staff will be able to explain what roles and responsibilities they have during each period of the day, and staff will be able to create and submit their own personal RYSA 2020 schedule. Let's begin by grounding ourselves in our purpose. The three key informing mindsets of the RYSA program are culturally responsive education, trauma-informed education, and linguistically supportive education for multilingual learners. Together, these create the foundation of the RYSA culture and climate. Because RYSA 2020 will be conducted remotely, here are some guiding principles that are extended and applied to the RYSA 2020 daily schedule. First, simplicity and consistency. Second, engaging instruction and small group support. And last, collaboration and communication. Now, let's take a look at an example of a lower school student schedule. Here is the Lower School 1 RYSA 2020 student-facing schedule. Notice that students in lower school begin their day at 8:30 a.m. with a morning meeting, followed by math from 9 until 10 a.m., literacy instruction from 10 until 11 a.m., a midday meeting from 11 until 11:30, lunch where they are offline from 11:30 until 12:30, and then arts classes in the afternoon. On Mondays and Wednesdays, they will have visual arts class from 12:30 until 1. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they will have music from 12:30 until 1. On Mondays and Wednesdays, Lower School 1 will have dance class from 1 to 1:30. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they will have storytelling from 1 until 1:30. On Mondays and Wednesdays, they will have social emotional learning class, or SEL, from 1:30 until 2. On Tuesdays, they will have computer class from 1:30 to 2. And on Thursdays, they will have movement class, which has replaced our physical education class, from 1:30 until 2. Notice that students do not have any activities and are offline starting at 2 p.m. daily, Monday through Thursday. So all of these fields are indicated NA, or not applicable. On Fridays, students in lower school begin their day at 8:30 with their morning meeting as typical. They then complete field trips that are virtual, which is a combination of some guided activities and some independent activities, until they break for lunch and ultimately reconvene at 1:30 until 2:30 p.m. for our whole school community event, which is part award show and part showcase. It should be noted that Monday through Thursday is mandatory as part of the academy, where Fridays are optional. Following our guiding principle of consistency and simplicity, notice the similarities with this Lower School 2 student-facing schedule. The mornings look identical to Lower School 1, and in the afternoons, notice the slight changes in when each period, each subject is taught. SEL on Mondays and Wednesdays, computer class on Tuesdays and Thursdays, on Tuesdays, and movement class on Thursday. From 1 until 1:30, visual art on Monday and Wednesday, music on Tuesday and Thursday. From 1:30 to 2, dance on Monday and Wednesday, storytelling on Tuesday to Thursday. And all lower school students are offline by 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So this last field from 2 until 2:30 is marked as not applicable. Again, note the similarities for lower school 3. The only differences appear again in the afternoon. From 12:30 to 1, dance on Monday and Wednesday, storytelling on Tuesday and Thursday. From 1 to 1:30, SEL on Monday and Wednesday, computer class on Tuesday and movement class on Thursday. From 1:30 to 2, visual art on Monday and Wednesday, and music class on Tuesday and Thursday. And all lower school students Monday through Thursday are offline by 2 p.m. Now let's look at the examples for upper school student schedules. As with lower school, upper school students begin their day at 8:30 a.m. with morning meeting until 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. Thereafter, you'll notice that upper school 1 from 9 until 10 a.m. has social studies. From 10 until 11 a.m. has math. From 11 until 12 has ELA or English language arts, and then only has a half-hour offline lunch from 12 to 12:30, unlike their lower school counterparts who have a full hour lunch offline. Thereafter, you notice the afternoon schedule. From 12:30 to 1 on Mondays is computer class, on Tuesdays and Thursdays is social emotional learning or SEL, and on Wednesdays is movement class. From 1 to 1:30 on Mondays and Wednesdays, visual arts, on Tuesdays and Thursdays, music class. From 1:30 to 2 on Mondays and Wednesdays is film, on Tuesdays and Thursdays is dance, and upper school students do have an afternoon meeting from 2 till 2:30, Monday through Thursday. Fridays look much the same as lower school, beginning with a morning meeting, a combination thereafter of independent and guided virtual field trip tours, a break for lunch, and a reconvening with the whole school from 1:30 until 2:30 for our community event. Upper school also has optional Fridays, just like lower school, and Monday through Thursdays are mandatory. Now let's look at the schedule for upper school 2. Upper school 2, it should be noted, has their subjects taught in a different order. From 9 to 10, they have math. From 10 to 11, they have ELA, or English language arts. And from 11 until 12, they have social studies. Then they have their half-hour offline lunch, and their afternoon schedule is as follows. From 12:30 to 1, on Mondays and Wednesdays, they have film. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have dance. From 1 to 1:30, on Mondays, they have computer class. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have SEL or social emotional learning. And on Wednesdays, they have movement class. From 1:30 until 2, on Mondays and Wednesdays, they have visual art. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they have music. They end their day from 2 to 2:30, just as the rest of upper school, with an afternoon meeting. For our student schedules, last but not least, our upper school 3 class. The order of their morning classes is as follows. 9 until 10 is ELA or English language arts. 10 until 11 is social studies. And 11 until 12 is math. They are offline for a half-hour lunch, and their afternoon schedules runs as follows. 12:30 to 1 Monday and Wednesday is visual arts. Tuesday and Thursday is music. 1 to 1:30, Monday and Wednesday is film. Tuesday and Thursday is dance. 1:30 to 2, Monday is computer class. Tuesday and Thursday is SEL. And Wednesday is movement class. And they finish their day from 2 to 2:30 with an afternoon meeting. Now, let's take a look at what staff schedules at RYSA 2020 look like. The diagram shown on the screen now depicts the lower school morning staff schedule. Notice the features of the RYSA 2020 staff-facing schedules. Each time period of the day is marked with an emboldened title of that period of the day, beginning with the morning instructional huddle. To the left, a short summary of each period of the day is stated. In the center rows and columns, you'll notice that each role has been delineated for what their specific responsibilities are during that period of the time of day. For lower school morning staff, you'll note that from 8 until 8:30, we have the morning instructional huddle. The roles and responsibilities are as follows during that time. CCLT stands for Classroom Culture Lead Teacher. The Classroom Culture Lead Teacher participates, clarifies, and summarizes during that morning instructional huddle time when it's time to review lesson plans for the day, assign duties, and highlight student needs. During that time period, the ALT or Academic Lead Teacher is leading the review of the lesson plans for that day, the review of the activities, the learning highlights, and making sure that all classroom staff members are aware of their duties and responsibilities to support instruction that day. PM stands for Peer Mentor. The peer mentor during the morning instructional huddle participates, probes, and clarifies. Notice that this time of the morning instructional huddle is done without students. At 8:30, the students join the classroom team. From 8:30 until 9 is the morning meeting. The summary statement states, establish a sense of community with students and engage in goal setting for the day. Additionally, this is when morning attendance is taken. The CCLT, again, that's the Classroom Culture Lead Teacher, during this time is leading the question and answer formed attendance ritual, is leading a mindfulness exercise potentially, and or a goal setting ritual for the day. They could also utilize this time to explicitly teach our RYSA core values of the week. The Academic Lead Teacher, or ALT here, is modeling active participation and awarding class dojo points to students. The peer mentors are modeling active participation and assisting as directed. For lower school morning staff, next up is the math lesson from 9 until 9:30. In this time, students receive a lesson either via live instruction or, most likely, by watching a pre-recorded video. During this time, the Academic Lead Teacher leads instruction or facilitates students watching that pre-recorded instructional video. The Classroom Culture Lead Teacher helps to troubleshoot student concerns and award class dojo points. If students are tardy, they are also responsible for directly reaching out to students and encouraging them to join as quickly as possible. The peer mentors watch in the instructional video or the live instruction and participate and receive information and execute as directed. From 9:30 until 10 is the time carved out for small group instruction in math. The goal here is that students can complete their math assignments or tasks in a guided fashion. For small groups, all roles are delineated as guiding small groups of students to complete assignments or tasks. It should be noted that if a mini lesson beginning at, for example, 9 a.m. for math does not take the entire 30 minutes of this math lesson period, the academic lead teacher should feel encouraged and empowered to immediately transition from that instructional mini lesson time directly into small group supported time, and not feel the need to wait for that 9:30 time as indicated here where it says math small groups. Moreover, if both the mini lesson and the small group supported time are over before the 10 a.m. mark that represents the end of math here, academic lead teachers should feel empowered and encouraged to say that that is the end of their math lesson when they appropriately end their timing, and to ask students to go take a break and go offline and then rejoin the class at 10 a.m., for example, for their literacy lesson. This is deliberate to encourage students to take a break from looking at screens all day long. On the other hand, it is important to note that we should temper this advice with a desire to maximize learning time for all RYSA students. Next, you'll notice that literacy follows the same pattern. Starting at 10 a.m., we have a literacy lesson in which a pre-recorded video most likely is delivered by the academic lead teacher. The classroom culture lead teacher is troubleshooting student connections and awarding Class Dojo points and supporting as needed. The peer mentors are watching that instructional video and participating and acting as model students and supporting as directed. And then we transition into small group literacy, small groups or stations, where all the roles, the classroom culture lead teacher, the academic lead teacher, and the peer mentor are all guiding a small group of students to complete the assignment or task. The same advice that I articulated above for the context of math also applies to literacy. So I will restate. In the event that the literacy lesson begun here at 10 a.m. does not in fact take that whole half-hour period, the academic lead teacher should feel empowered and encouraged to move directly, seamlessly into their small group supports. And in the event that that small group station time or small group guided task time does not take all the way until 11 a.m., the academic lead teacher should feel encouraged to say to their students, please get offline for just a moment, go stretch, take a bathroom break, etc. And then let's meet back up online for our midday meeting beginning at 11 a.m. The midday meeting mirrors the morning meeting. The goal here is to establish a sense of community with students, reflect on learnings from the morning, and to monitor their daily goals. The classroom culture lead teacher leads this learning and reflection ritual, mindfulness, or goal monitoring ritual. The academic lead teacher models active participation and awards Class Dojo points and supports the classroom culture lead teacher here as directed. The peer mentors model active participation and assist as directed. From 11:30 until 12, everyone is upholding individualized roles and responsibilities. The students are offline. In fact, the students in lower school are offline for an entire hour for lunch. Here you'll note that the classroom culture lead teacher is also taking their lunch offline at this time. From 11:30 until 12, the academic lead teacher is conducting collaborative lesson planning and meetings and tasks as assigned. That could mean collaborative lesson planning with, in this case, the other lower school teachers, or with arts teachers, the SEL teacher, or digital literacy / computer class teacher. Meetings might include team meetings with fellow academic lead teachers or one-on-one meetings with myself. The peer mentors at this time are also in meetings and tasks as assigned. Notice that on Fridays, the morning instructional huddle and the morning meeting still hold steady. The one exception here is that the academic lead teacher does not teach on Fridays and will not be present on the Friday morning instructional huddle. The morning meeting stays the same, and the rituals are upheld as with the Monday through Thursday schedule. It should be noted that though Fridays are optional for students, Fridays are still mandatory for staff that have Friday hours. The role breakdowns during the actual field trip time, which will be a virtual field trip, are that the classroom culture lead teacher leads the virtual field trips or helps to instruct students in the tasks that they will do independently as their virtual field trips, while the peer mentors monitor student behavior and participate by providing students with extra support, explanations, and encouragement. Now, let's look at the staff schedule for the lower school afternoon staff. We start here from 12 until 12:30 with the afternoon instructional huddle. At this time, students in lower school are still offline eating their lunches. This time mirrors the impact of the morning instructional huddle, but for the afternoon staff. So the goals are similar: to review the lesson plans for the day, to assign duties, highlight student needs, and make sure that everyone is clear on their roles and responsibilities. During this time, the classroom culture lead teacher is participating, clarifying, and summarizing. The academic lead teachers, or truly the arts lead teachers, the social emotional lead teacher, and the digital literacy lead teacher are leading the facilitation of reviewing the lesson plans, the activities, the learning highlights, and assigning tasks, while the peer mentors are participating, probing, and clarifying. The academic lead teachers from the morning staff during this same time from 12 to 12:30 are engaging in collaborative lesson planning and meetings and tasks as assigned still. From 12:30 until 1, you'll notice that this example has visual arts on Mondays and Wednesdays and music on Tuesdays and Thursdays. In this block of arts classes, the roles are defined as follows. The classroom culture lead teacher is monitoring engagement and awarding class dojo points and managing chats and assisting as directed by the arts lead teacher. The arts lead teacher is leading instruction and facilitating activities. The peer mentors are modeling active participation and assisting as directed. Similarly, from 1 p.m. until 1:30 on this lower school afternoon staff schedule example, this class has dance on Mondays and Wednesdays, storytelling on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the roles are delineated exactly the same as the 12:30 to 1:30 time period of arts programming. From 1:30 until 2 p.m., there is social emotional learning on Mondays and Wednesdays for this class, computer class on Tuesdays for this class, and movement class on Thursdays for this class. The roles for each role and responsibilities are delineated in each cell. So during SEL, the SEL teacher is leading instruction, facilitating activities. The classroom culture lead teacher is monitoring engagement, awarding class dojo points, and managing the chat and doing other supportive duties as assigned by the SEL teacher. The peer mentors are modeling participation and assisting as directed. So on and so forth, as applicable for the computer class and the movement class. On the Friday part of this schedule, you'll notice that the afternoon meeting is taking place where the classroom culture lead teacher can lead field trip debrief, mindfulness exercises, and goal reflection rituals. The peer mentors will be modeling active participation and assisting as directed by the classroom culture lead teacher. On Friday afternoons from 1:30 all the way until 2:30, we have our end of week whole school community event. For admin, have responsibilities for leading and facilitating this event. Classroom culture lead teachers are monitoring engagement and awarding their students Class Dojo points. ARTS lead teachers are modeling active participation and assisting as directed. Peer mentors are modeling active participation and assisting as directed as well. Notice that in this time period, from 2 until 4 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and from 2:30 until 4 p.m. on Fridays, the afternoon staff have embedded time for the classroom culture lead teacher to be conducting the one-on-one family outreach, sending weekly progress reports home, and making one-on-one phone calls with each student in their class. They also will have meetings and tasks as assigned during that time period, whether that be team meetings with other classroom culture lead teachers or one-on-one meetings with myself, for example. The SEL teacher and digital literacy teachers during that time will also have their embedded lesson planning time and meetings and tasks as assigned, and peer mentors will also have meetings and tasks as assigned during that time. Here now is an example from upper school morning staff. You will notice the very similar presentation as with the lower school morning staff schedule. Starting with 8 a.m. until 8:30 a.m., the morning instructional huddle, where the roles are all exactly the same as they would be for lower school counterparts, followed by 8:30 to 9 a.m. morning meeting, exactly the same as in lower school, followed by math lesson, followed by math small group. The same guidance goes as I explained for lower school, wherein the academic lead teacher can feel encouraged and empowered to make that call regarding when they transition from their mini lesson into their small group support time and how long they are in engaging students in that small group support time. In this example schedule, we see that their ELA block begins at 10 a.m. and in that time is both containing a pre-recorded video small group instruction, followed by small group instruction, just as with all other content learning here in the mornings at RYSA 2020, and then followed by social studies from 11 until 12. From 12 until 12:30, we have lunch/afternoon instructional huddle. The goal here is to review the lesson plans for the day and assign duties and highlight student needs for that upper school afternoon staff, with the exception of the classroom culture lead teacher. Because the upper school student lunches offline are only 1/2 hour long, the classroom culture lead teacher is also asked to take their lunch during that 1/2 hour period from 12 until 12:30 daily, Monday through Thursday, so that they are ensured a lunch period. The other roles will be engaging in the afternoon instructional huddle at this time from 12 until 12:30 for upper school. Transitioning now to finally look at the upper school afternoon staff sample schedule, where you'll notice that we left off with this description of the lunch/afternoon instructional huddle, depending on which role you occupy, and then followed by a combination of arts classes, 4 half-hour segments, and this block that splits between computer class, SEL, and movement class, where all of the roles are delineated precisely the same as they are for lower school. From 2 until 2:30, upper school students have an afternoon meeting. This serves the same function as the midday meeting does for lower school students. It gives an opportunity for that class to reconvene. The CCLT, or Classroom Culture Lead teacher, will lead a mindfulness and or goal reflection ritual during this time. The peer mentors will model active participation and assist as directed. On Fridays, from 1:30 until 2:30, this time is still the community event time. That is for the whole school. The roles are described in the former section where I describe lower school afternoon staff schedule and responsibilities. Similarly, from 2:30 until 4 p.m. upper school afternoon staff have the opportunity to conduct family outreach if you are a classroom culture lead teacher, lesson planning if you are, for example, an SEL or digital literacy instructor, and meetings and tasks as assigned for peer mentors and for all of the previous roles mentioned as well. In closing, let's check for understanding of your learning in this module. As a reminder, our goals in this module were that staff will be able to internalize the RYSA 2020 daily schedule for both students and staff. Staff will be able to explain what roles and responsibilities they have during each period of the day. And staff will be able to create and submit their own personal RYSA 2020 schedule. Check. In order to check for understanding of this module and to ensure that all RYSA staff are equipped to effectively support students at RYSA 2020, here are the instructions for your check for understanding. You will get to create your very own personalized RYSA 2020 schedule. On this schedule that you create, you will include only your particular staff role, tasks, and responsibilities for each time period of each day. Then submit your personalized RYSA 2020 schedule via the associated Google Classroom assignment. This has been the RYSA 2020 Daily Schedule All Staff Training module.